Well,
Who are you? What is this? This isn't my house. These aren't my kids.
what a year. Holy crap.
2024.
Oh.
Yikes.
So, welcome to Raregivers, a man's journey. I am Christopher Valona.
And I'm secondhand Steve. Welcome.
Thank you. We love it that you're here. We're glad you're here. You could be anywhere else, but just in case you missed it, you could always go to our channel and just replay it.
Again
and again and again.
The repeat button was invented just for that.
Yeah. So my watch, it's 6 o'clock.
Where we're at.
Oh, I bet I got my watches in there.
So did you have a good week with
no,
the holidays?
No. Did you?
Did you get everything you wanted?
No.
Did you stay healthy?
No.
Everyone I know is sick.
Yeah. You remember we were sick a couple times, yeah. And I was in my robe. Did you get any points for that? No.
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. The show goes on.
Oh, and when it doesn't, it's just dark. What a year. It's been quite the year. Even though we've been on the air for only 90 days, it just seems like it's just been a very long 90 days.
I washed my hands of this year. I'm done with it.
There's been a lot of good.
A lot of everything.
A lot of bad. A lot of stress and a lot of issues. But we don't really hold on to all the negativity, but we are going to talk about some of that stuff because, men don't talk about that.
Well, we're not, we weren't raised to maybe talk about that, but then there's a thing called reality. And reality is what is.
I think I'm going to light my man cave candle given to me by my friend Susie.
Let me take a hit of that. What is it?
It's a wax candle.
Yeah, but I can't, the scent, can't put a name on it.
It's man style. And I know you're probably wondering why men are lighting candles, because that's not what men do. Just watch your thumb there. Getting a little bit out of control.
It's okay.
Whoa.
The man can. Dull.
The man cave.
You want this thing?
I just want to smell it.
Like a fire pit. I like it.
That smells good.
That's the stick.
You want to smell that?
That.
Watch your beard.
That smells like a forest fire.
Just gonna light the trash on fire.
I wonder if this is flammable.
I'm sure it is. All right. So we lit our candle, and we're going to not so much relive 2024.
But what do we learn?
Yeah.
Because
What did we learn?
How many of our stumbling blocks can we turn into stepping stones? How many of our experiences that kind of went sideways can we look at and see how we can maybe prevent that from happening?
Jeez, there's a lot to learn.
If I don't learn something from a whole year on this planet, then I really got to look at what I'm doing.
I was looking at my calendar to kind of prep for tonight's show, and it was just like I write down everything in this appointment book and the things that we did 12 months. Plus I have probably 1.
So you're keeping score? Is that what I'm hearing?
2, 3, 4 notebooks of various projects, from Project Sebastian to CSG Inc. to my other, my Alcoholics Anonymous.
You know how to stay busy.
I do, because I need notes and I need like stuff, but it was crazy because I'm looking at this stuff. I was sick the first week in January. Wasn't that wonderful? I was sick. What were you doing the first week of January?
Don't remember.
Because you're old?
Oh, yeah.
We had lots of seizures in January for Sebastian. And if you don't know this, my son is suffering from epilepsy due to a terminal illness called Batten disease. And one of the side effects of that amazing, shitty disease is seizures. So I have
Big
to,
ones and little ones.
yeah, I had, so you can't, I don't know if you can see this in the yellow, you can see all the yellow. Yellow means that he had a seizure, and as you can see, that there are some weeks he didn't have any, and there's a couple that he did. But if you just turn to any page, all year long, seizure, 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 seizure. That was the real crappy part.
So what you're looking for is a pattern. So let's say, you're writing down when he's having a seizure.
Yeah.
And then maybe you switch something in his diet, or you add something, maybe some type of a therapy.
Meds.
Yeah, and then you're hoping for maybe less seizures, but if you see more, then maybe something you're doing might be triggering that.
Yeah.
So this is designed to help you. If you don't keep a calendar or schedule of your client, your family, whoever it is you're watching, this will just benefit you if you do this.
And so my job, basically they call this charting, is to count how many seizures we've had each year. And I have 12 of these books filed, and total seizures in 2023 is 85. That's up from 22 the previous year. That is an increase of over 480%.
That's huge.
And we wanted to know why. And it was just a lot of different things. And the culmination of trying to figure out how to put him in the hospital. Isn't that great? As when we reduced all the meds, we did it properly. It wasn't like I just took them all out, but basically titrated down, and then we removed one every 4 to 6 weeks. And as we got down to the lowest amount, we really saw what bat disease looked like. It was just voracious, angry. It was unrelenting, and that was like around, I have to say, August. I mean, August was bad. There was a ton of seizures. There was a couple of stays in the hospital, and we had to figure out, like this guy said, what are we doing differently? So we had to put him back on meds, but we put him on a different med. And that's when we also got introduced to the energy enhancement systems. EES is the code word for it. And using frequency healing and scalar wave technology, which I would have to say did a complete 180 on my son's health.
From what I understand, the therapy is designed to actually heal the DNA, to correct some things that are maybe a little off.
Yeah.
And I've seen Sebastian, his son, go from no energy, not being able to even, he can hardly walk as it is. Some days he does better than others. But I've seen him to where, he can't even chooch along, to being able to
Chooch along?
Chooch is a good word.
What's a chooch?
When you get moving.
I mean, shuffle.
Yeah,
Shuffle.
He's shuffling.
Never heard of it.
Every day
I
he's
hear
shuffling.
choo choo. Okay,
So
sorry.
he's chooching. Maybe it's, I heard that from my friend in Canada. That's how he talks.
Oh, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I've seen this therapy help him immensely.
Yeah, it's been quite a game changer.
And I'm not talking, book studies and statistics. I'm talking what I've seen with my own eyes, what I've experienced with my own time with him.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that takes him to therapy most of the time these days.
Yeah, he's my driver.
And I get to hang out with him.
Experience that. Yeah.
For myself.
Right.
And I'm 104 and I feel great.
So actually it's interesting that you're in the rooms probably 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours a week with him.
Right. During this therapy. So I get to partake in it. You can't be there and not have it hit you.
Right. So how do you feel after being in those rooms after almost 3 months?
Just walking into the room for the first time, I could tell there was something different. It felt different.
Yeah.
And when I first started, the next day it took its toll on me.
How so?
What
does that mean?
I was exhausted, like I ran a marathon. And I've never run a marathon, so it's a bad analogy maybe, but I was pooped. And then I was told what it does is it brings a lot of the detoxification out of the body, and it needs to be released. So a detox bath is a good idea.
After your session?
Yeah, so it's not just a matter of going to the therapy and having a session. It has to be followed up with some other things too, to make sure the body can get back into.
That's very true. We had to make a lot of changes for Sebastian. We cleaned up his diet. added a whole bunch of elements and things that were missing. I started cooking more at home from scratch. I became a label reader. If it had more than 4 or 5 ingredients, I didn't buy it. And I learned how to make it. Learned how to make bread. Learned how to roast coffee this week.
Make your own jam.
Make my own jam.
And now you're making your own coffee.
And I'm going to make my own peanut butter. You know, but these are things. I mean, of course, I can't make everything, but I can find resources that are a lot cleaner. That's not jam full of like GMOs and salts
and you have to educate yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to eat cleaner, or you want your client to eat cleaner, and you think you can trust the label on the box, no,
they're all lies. Most of them are lying.
Even when it says natural flavors, that's a loophole they use to put in chemicals.
It's true. That's true. Let me tell you, that maltodextrin they put on the box, that's true.
That's sugar. They have 1,000 different ways to describe sugar.
Stay away.
But they use everything but the word sugar.
Right. Try to find natural resources. We were just talking about molasses and maple syrup today, and honeys instead of the powdered sugar, which is just garbage. As Susie would say, that's garbage. It's just garbage.
I remember dropping a candy one time, and the ants wouldn't even eat it. So that's if your own dog won't eat it, it's not natural. It's not good.
So the name of this place out here in Santa Cruz, California, is called Bio Recharge, and my friend Susan Riggs created this space for us, and her father-in-law, who's dying from stage 4 cancer, and she got one of the last licenses out here in Southern California, and she's creating a huge space in a building that should be open before the end of summer 2025. But the stuff is now in her house, and we actually get to go there, and it's very convenient, very close. And Sebastian,
very necessary.
Yeah,
Sebastian's point in his progress.
Sebastian has gained weight because he's eating again. He's laughing again. He's happier overall. He's actually getting out of the wheelchair. If you're following me on any type of social media, you'll see Sebastian on the treadmill, not running, but walking with assistance, where he's been in a wheelchair a lot longer than we'd like.
And him walking on a wheelchair is the equivalent of me running, walking on a treadmill is the equivalent of me, running a few miles. He's doing so well for his capacity.
Yeah, we're truly amazed by it. And the seizures have really reduced since August by starting this new treatment. It's been.
Remember how seizures would wipe him out for a day or two?
Well, they don't know. So the seizures that Sebastian would have, we'd have 2 different, maybe 3 different kinds. He'd have absent seizures where you just stare. We all have those.
Like the one you just had?
Right. Sorry. What? And then you have a tonic, which is a lurching forward right during REM mode, where you would just come out of your sleep and you're kind of like screaming a little bit, or like, and then you would go back to sleep. People often have those. The tonic clonics are a complete shaking from head to toe. Every muscle is tightening up and flexing.
It's rigor mortis.
It's like the old grand mal, the new topic. Sorry, the new terminology is tonic clonic. And so he was having all those every day, multiple times a day.
And it would be like a workout. I mean, when you have a seizure, your muscles are just being used.
When he was under the age of 10, the minute to a minute and a half was the equivalent of him running a marathon, a 26-mile marathon. That's how they said, because he would just be wiped out for hours at a time. Couldn't talk, couldn't walk, couldn't do anything. And as he's progressively gotten older, it's probably maybe not 26 miles anymore, because he's like 135 pounds now. It's probably, still a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
You could tell it takes a toll on him.
Yeah. So,
but he's recovering faster now.
Those are really been non-existent. We're averaging 1 a week, as opposed to 3 or 4 a day, because of the EE systems. And I know we're talking about male caregiving, but if you have the ability to go visit one of these centers throughout Southern California or North America,
let us know where you're at, and we'll help you find one.
So you can just go to unifiedhealing.com, and click on my city, put in your zip code, and there will be people pretty close to you, and you might want to really investigate that just for overall health.
But if they want to look into it on online, YouTube or something, what should they type in?
Unified Healing, or EE Systems, or scalar wave technology.
Once you find one, it'll lead you to other ones.
Right.
And again, watch as many videos as you need to get a balanced idea on if you think this might benefit you.
Right. So I was in there, and you would think that I don't really need it, right? I'm fairly healthy. I'm happy.
Yeah, but you're over 50, so
Well, yeah.
we're on the deterioration end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I got the ARP card, so we're good. And I get my, what do they call that, senior citizen discount?
No, they keep moving the date on me.
Well, you're old. But
I would have been a senior in the 1980s, but now I'm not yet.
But for me, sitting in these rooms with Sebastian, so as a caregiver, a male caregiver, or a female caregiver, or family member, or whoever, if you're in this space, you are constantly stressed, and you are physically taxed because of your person. You're always transitioning, transporting, moving from chair to shower to car to everything. You really need to be physically fit, and you're always stressed out. You're not eating right. You're always just taking crap. Like this guy, he's a sugar fiend, Monster Energy, I believe. Just crap, that maltodextrin, he's got the high. So when I found I'm sitting in these rooms, my headaches would go away, and I would start to feel calm. And it's probably because I was sitting down, which is a really nice change of pace, because we're usually pushing that wheelchair, or we're carrying or lifting him, my person, Sebastian. And truly amazing experience. I won't go into the other details of what has been fixed in my body, but it is probably one of the best overnights I do. I sleep in this room with Sebastian for about 8 to 12 hours
while the therapy is going on.
Right. You just let the technology do its thing. And it's just truly amazing. So if you want to find out more about it, it's all over YouTube, unifiedhealing.com or EE Systems. You can just put in scalar wave technology, and you'll figure it out. But the unified healing is where it all began. You'll see the inventor, I forget her name, really sweet doctor lady. But anyway, that's the good part about 2024, right? I just told you the horrifying thing. He almost died in the hospital. That was horrible. I closed, you don't know this, but I had another business. I had a consulting business called CSG Consulting, where we talked about getting sober, talking about THC, health benefits, and whatnot. And I found that when my son, we found out that he was allergic to cannabis, and he had these crazy side effects. I realized that wasn't the path I needed to do. And plus, I stopped short, I think 3 units short of getting my next degree in counseling, and I needed a few thousand hours. I just didn't have the time to do that and stay away from the house to do that and take care of Sebastian at the same time, even when I had help. Like I said, we had a horrible summer, and so I had to make a decision just to be more present, and I shut down that business. That was a low. But I gained a tremendous amount of experience with it. I was happy to have it done. I still am in therapy with my latest teacher. Karen is amazing, and she's somebody who wants to do work with me in the future, and Sebastian. So I guess that was what I was supposed to get out of that. I'm not a licensed practitioner in that field, although I should just complete it just to complete it.
When you're able.
Yeah, so I'm just not able right now, and I need to be here, close to Sebastian, and he's continually getting stronger, and I have really great outlook for 2025, not only for my son Sebastian, but for everyone. I just feel like it's going to be a lot better this year for a lot of different reasons. I know I'm monopolizing the time because Steve has his own little story. One of the great things about 24 is that I actually, under direction of other men, said, you need more male relationships. You need to stick your hand out and say hi, because when you get in your 40s and 50s, you know, your friend group is just already set.
It's hard to make friends.
It's like a circle. It's so small.
Yeah.
And it's like your dad or your brothers, or your sister, and maybe.
And they have to be your friend. They're related to you.
Yeah. So, you know, outside sources of having friendships are very small and few between.
But
So,
very important. And would you say you found that to be true?
yeah, I mean, the benefit was like more than I ever imagined, because I'm very stubborn, I'm arrogant, I'm not so nice, I'm closed off, I think I know it all, I'm a control freak. I mean, are you gonna stop me?
No, you need to borrow my fingers?
But you know, when you're sitting and you say, "Hey, my name is so and so," it's like you're dating a little bit, but it's just like you're like, here's the fear of rejection. Like, why are you talking to me? Get away from me. What are you doing? You're weird. But I didn't get that reaction. And Steve was one of the men I approached to simply say, "Hey, I need a friend." And he said, "Don't we all?"
A man can not be so rich as to not need a friend.
And then I think he quoted the Lucille Ball, "Friend of the friendless." We all need friends. Join us, the friends of the friendless. You probably don't know that because you guys aren't old like us. I Love Lucy. You remember that? It was black and white.
I'm too young.
It's a great show. You can probably find it on one of those apps.
But what we learn how to do when we get older, hopefully we get a little wiser too. Not just, grow. Can't just grow old on the outside. We should grow on the inside also. But we need to see our resources, and we need to see that the greatest resource we have is each other, and then the people in your life. And this is how you found the EES system, correct? Through a friend.
Yeah, I got a message on LinkedIn from an ex-girlfriend like 13, 15 years ago saying, "Hey, I was reading up on this stuff. It might benefit Sebastian. I hope you're well." Just out of the blue. I hadn't talked to her in over a decade. And I was dealing with Susie. She was opening up another business, same girl that started this company. And her business partner died from a heart attack. So she was kind of in limbo. And Susie's kind of like my medicine woman, Dr. Medicine Woman. Remember that show?
Dr. Quinn.
Dr. Quinn, Dr. Quinn. See, you're not so old. And I always talked to her about the holistic life. And over a year ago, we started to change some of Sebastian's intake of certain dietary things that we found that he was really, really deficient. A lot of minerals, a lot of salts, and that was really adding to not only his disease but his overall health. We're like, we don't know why he's like up and down in weight. It's just like how many chicken nuggets and how many In-N-Out burgers can you get? How many, it was just a crappy diet. I was a very inexperienced, I was a convenient dad. As long as they were eating, I didn't really care. But I realized
here's another thing too, and you don't discount this at all.
Well,
when you're going through something like this, sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes you don't have the wherewithal to cook food and look at healthy stuff. You don't even think of that. You're so worried about your child.
Yeah. In-N-Out, drive-through,
yeah,
Uber Eats.
Because at the time, that's all you can do.
Right.
But hopefully you get to a point where you realize that eating cleaner is always going to benefit the person.
I mean, he's 104, so who knows, right?
Right. And again, everything we have to learn as we get older, we have to teach ourselves, because no one's going to knock on our door and go, "Hey, you want to learn about this?" No, we have to educate ourselves, and thank God we got the means to be able to go online, to be able to ask questions, to be able to investigate, go down some rabbit holes, see how other people have had their experiences that are similar and how they handled it. And so part of being a good caregiver is to constantly educate yourself as to what's out there, what's available, maybe a different direction to go, maybe finding another way to do it better.
Yeah.
But don't ever get to the point where, you say, "I got it. I know it all." No one does. So
basically, after that conversation with that text message, I asked Susie, "Hey, have you ever heard of this stuff?" And she said, "It's funny you mentioned this. I was talking about this with one of my friends who has a holistic chiropractic, and they told me to check it out." And she checked it out all right. And I think that 2 weeks later, it was me, my girlfriend Jessica, and Sebastian. We did an overnight down in La Brea.
So Susie got the complete setup. I mean, she
Well,
eventually
we went to go check it out at this woman's place. This other person who had another setup an hour and a half away. I mean, what could it do as an overnight? You would sleep anyway, right? That's why I still look at it like that. And you get up and you do your day. So it's like 9 to 6. Then you got to get out, right? So didn't really feel anything. I felt kind of tired, like Steve was saying, and Sebastian was actually laughing throughout the whole day in class, and he hadn't spoken in months. So I knew there was something there, but I didn't want to believe it. But then Susie was so hooked on it. She basically bought these packages. I think she bought like 10 sessions, and she just would drive to Brea, and she felt better. Her body was a little bit damaged from other physical things, and
so she became a believer from her direct experience with this.
Yeah.
Not from reading a book or watching a video.
Yeah.
But by doing it.
Right. And then she bought the license, and she says, "I'm going to open up a practice." I mean, that's what, and
that's a testimony right there.
And then she says, "You and my father-in-law are our first clients." And so, what an amazing experience that's been. And that was the beginning of the change with Sebastian, along with the change in his ingestion and his modalities, along with the EE systems. It's been a complete 180. I can't explain it. And so, as a caregiver, you're excited, you're happy, you're elated. You can start doing the things that he used to do again. Physicality. He has a workout guy who comes in and helps him. He goes now into another physical therapy where he's stretching and he's doing power resistance training. He's able to, speak and tell you what he wants now. He doesn't just grunt or use sign language. He's laughing, and it's just an amazing thing.
It almost like reverse the atrophy.
Yes, because once you shake up all of the toxins and all the parasites in your body, then you take your detox bath, which, if you don't know, your skin is the biggest
organ in your body.
Right. And so you can either absorb or expel everything in a bath if you have the right elements: the sodium bicarbonate, hydrogen peroxide, borax, and a few other elements just to make it nice.
But it's sea salt, but not Epsom salt.
No, it's
that actually makes you, it goes the reverse.
Yeah.
And again, you have to educate yourself
Right.
and find out.
So Epsom salt is good for after seizures. That really replenishes the muscles and stuff like that. So this bath pulls stuff out of your body, which is a pure Epsom salt bath replenishes.
Yeah, what's in.
So like Steve was saying, you can't just do one thing. You have to do a series of things.
The process.
In order to change, and that is anything in life, So that's my bread. That's my bread. Did you hear that? My bread is done.
Your homemade bread and your bread machine.
And I have next to it, I've got some pork butt with some yams
in the crock pot. That's how you do it.
So you're learning, right? And so the thing that I took away was like, you know what? I've always tried things for Sebastian. I've always treated him like a first round draft pick going to the NFL. Trainers, nutrition, people, how you surround him around, you are what you surround yourself with. So it was a lot of positivity and stuff like that. But we noticed that all of what's the word? He was just degrading in front of us. And that's because there was no way for us to remove all the toxic in his brain, because he's missing an enzyme that comes in and removes all the toxicity in his brain. So he's missing that enzyme that I have, that Steve has, that actually anything that I'm doing right now sends a little powder, a little puff of smoke. It synapse is very small. You can barely see it, but this enzyme comes in and removes it through your body, whether you urinate, you defecate, or you sweat. So Sebastian doesn't have that ability. I think with this system that we found a way to remove those toxins in his brain.
So we found a way to.
That's my theory. I'm not saying it's scientifically proven. That's just my theory. Because how else is he able to do everything?
So with him, the gap is that his body cannot detox.
Right.
So the EES systems, what Chris is saying is, it's basically like having another system in place to do that
Right.
while he's in there.
We found an enzyme. Without sticking the needle into his brain like these other children have to do, God bless them.
So his body can be prompted to let go of stuff.
Right, and I think that that's what's happening, because I don't know how else he's become so much better since we started this, and I think that there's something to be said. Your results may vary, right, as they say, but that was a really great part of 2024. I know we just took a little bit of time on that.
But it works, and it given you hope that you didn't have for a while.
Absolutely. We were looking towards
That's worth talking about.
We were looking towards the end of life, and like, you know, Project Sebastian's always, you know, had this mantra of what, you know, our mission statement, where it provides psychotherapy support group education resources to all rare disease families. And at that time when we got out of the hospital, I was like, Jesus, this is it. You know, I think we just need to have like experiences, you know, end of life experiences. You know, let's just make his life as easy as possible, right? And now I don't have those thoughts anymore. I would love to do experiences for him or any of these other kids if I can afford it. But, you know, now we have this hope where, you know, not only are we going to honor those passing, but we're also going to heal, right? That's the new tagline for 25, hope, honor, and heal.
And take what we learn and pass it on to you.
Yeah, that's why you get to have us here on a man's journey. This is my journey. I'm a man, so I can say that, right? Somebody's coming in.
It's okay.
Who is it?
Who knows? Why even look?
It's Jessica. Hi, Jess. Fresh out the hot tub.
Hot tub.
How was it?
Good.
Good. I'm glad. All right, on you. What were some good and some bad things, man?
Let's see, 2024 was an eye-opening year for me. A lot of things happened I didn't expect. Both seemingly good and seemingly bad, but I don't know until later. That seems to be what I've come to find in this life. Sometimes I think something's bad, and it turns out to be maybe one of the best things that ever happened to me, and vice versa. So what I try to do is just take it as it comes, not overreact, not lose my mind, but to really look at it as, what can I learn from this? What can I see in myself? What can this show me to help me improve and grow and evolve and progress in this life? And 2024 was like climbing stairs. And a lot of those stairs were broken and the rail was rusted and sharp.
The rail broke off. It almost fell down.
But it seems like for everything that kind of went sideways, something else went right. And it kind of balances itself out after a while. So I try to just live in the day I'm in with what I know, and try to improve upon that also, and just be the best Steve I can be. You know, I'm here to overcome myself. And everything else is just a bonus.
So what was the worst part of 2024 for you?
The worst part was I'd have to think about it, because there's a tie.
There was a tie.
There's a tie.
That means two bad events.
Not bad events, just events. As soon as you call it bad, you know, you're putting it into a corner. No one puts baby in a corner.
Oh my God.
But one of the big ones was getting a divorce this year.
Oh, you got a divorce.
Yes.
Is it final?
It can't be final in California for 6 months, so that'll take me into next year.
Oh, Steve, you're newly divorced.
But yes, and I say this, and tell me if you agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Relationships sometimes die even years before they end.
Oh, for sure. I would agree.
So it was a closing of a chapter, but it just didn't happen all of a sudden.
Sorry about that, brother.
Thank you. But here's the greatest thing of all. The support I get in my life. The people that surround me. There's people around me that are more worried about me than me. And it's incredible. If you haven't experienced that, you're really missing out.
Wait, there's more people that are worried about me than me?
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, they want what's best for me. They want to see me, move along.
I see.
And so they're, how you doing? How you doing? Doing okay. And they don't believe you. They don't believe you.
No,
No, they don't. Which is fine also.
because you're not supposed to be this like
Yeah.
calm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's just,
Steve's very calm.
it took a long time to get here. I wasn't born like this.
All right, what was the second event?
Being sick,
Ah,
being just to the point where you're used to living life one way, and then you all of a sudden it's like you get a bad tank of gas, and now you're putting along at 40% of what you could.
Was this in the beginning of the year?
Yeah. In the beginning of the year, I got hit with it was after my third booster for the COVID, and I lost 60 pounds without even trying. I went to got health insurance. I took every test and every exam and every x-ray and every CAT scan and every in and out and up and over that they can give you with no information at all. They had nothing. No one wrote down, this is a result of COVID. This is a result of long COVID. This is a result of no one did nothing like that. It was like, we don't know what to tell you.
So you got that illness after being vaccinated and boosted.
Yes.
Were you sick prior to getting?
No, I was working full time, had energy, didn't have to take naps during the day. See, so much had changed. It was all of a sudden I went from being like, and this is just an example, it's like being 30 years old, and all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're 65. and it's like, what happened? And because it's not a black eye or a fat lip or a broken bone, you think you're kind of nuts because it's all happening internally.
So you woke up, so you went to bed looking like me, and you woke up like you, like Tom Hanks and Big.
Well, the outside didn't change. I mean, it's like a refrigerator. If you unplug it, it's still going to look like a refrigerator until you open it, and then everything's rotten inside. That's what it more akin to.
What are you doing about all that? The sickness. I mean, well,
managing it, just knowing what I can do and can't do. I had to go from full-time work to part-time work. I have to prepare for being exhausted in the middle of the day, to not schedule something so I can, pick up more in the evening. Because if I don't, then it'll just wipe me out for the whole time. So it's just managing what I have. It's basically a preview of old age. That's exactly, I think, the best description I can give you.
No way.
And that's what's happening with me.
I'm not getting old.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Oh.
Gravity wins, time wins. We're just guests here for as long as we're here.
Time wins. Well, that's pretty bad. What's tell me something good.
Something good is, I understand myself maybe a little bit more. I see more of the truth of myself, and I'm not as petty as I used to be. I no longer yell. I've given up honking the horn. I don't want to harm anyone. I see life a little differently. And I haven't gotten to the point, and I hope you get there, and I hope everyone gets there. There's no more ugly people anymore. It's the weirdest thing.
Ugly?
Ugly. There's no more ugly people internally. You just see, why get mad at a turtle because it can't climb a tree? Why get upset with seeing how people are in their limitations and this idea of they should be able to do more, and then throwing that away because you realize it's just an old idea that doesn't work anymore. And you let people be them, and you understand everyone's doing the best they can with what they got. And it's just, life is I think I maybe understand life a little bit more now. But everything, when I was younger, I wouldn't have understood this at all without having experienced it. I think life is designed to kind of kick you in the butt, to maybe get you more in alignment with how things really are, instead of how I think they should be.
So what Steve is explaining to you is not direct experience. It's talking about growth, learning perspective from within, based on his current experiences. So
based on direct experience,
right.
Not theories, not what I read in a book or saw in a video.
I was hoping that there was going to be something that was a direct, like an event that made you happy. Not this knowledge. I mean, did you go to Disneyland?
No, I wanted to.
That's what I'm talking about. So, all right.
But no, there's things that, and that's another thing too, is that there's things I used to love to do that no longer give me that sense of joy that they used to. And what makes me happy now is being helpful, being able to make a difference in someone's world.
Useful.
Yeah. And I no longer try to live life from the outside in. You know, this is going to fix me a better car, a faster this, a more bigger house. I have to live life from the inside out. Which means if I'm right inside, everything outside falls into place, not the other way around. It took a long time to learn that.
I was hoping that Steve would have said one of the good things was that I got to work with Sebastian.
Absolutely.
And I got to be here.
That's yes.
Yes.
And it's such a part of my life, it didn't even cross my mind.
But that was something good.
No, it's one of the, you know, a friend of mine once said, I'm not going to let waking up ruin my day today. And when I wake up in the morning, I know I have a life that, and my life is not my own. You know, that's another thing I had to learn. And if I can be in the service of what's in front of me, then I'm doing good. And I enjoy.
Well, we certainly like Steve here. We like having him here.
I like being here.
He takes a lot of breaks, but he's old and he's obviously injured from the vaccines and stuff like that.
And I make no bones about it too. I'm tired. I tell him I'm tired.
He says, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, your shift is not over. I'm going to bed. And I have to be, you know.
You're understanding, which is nice. And you didn't get understanding until your butt got kicked.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I just don't have time to find another caregiver. So.
Or that.
So we want to know what was the good and the bad of 2024. So if you can just drop it down in the chat or email us, we would love to hear some of your comments.
Again, what did you learn that could help someone else? What did you find out this year that can benefit others?
Yeah, that's a great thing. Of course, I'm going to my, yes. So if you want to email us, that's men@raregivers.global. And so send us what was good and we'll share it with the world on our next show. We're starting 2025 next week.
So this is it for 2024.
This is it for 2024. We
done in the bag.
We talked about what was good, what was bad, plugged some really great resources for you men. I hope that you guys are safe tomorrow night and don't do too much stupid stuff. Hopefully you won't drink and drive, you won't drug and drive. Hopefully you won't mix your alcohol or your drugs. Maybe you just don't do any of that. Maybe you just, you know, go to dinner and call an Uber. Have what do they used to have? A designated driver.
And on the other side of that, if you're alone.
Because it's just amateur hour tomorrow is what it is.
Yeah, stay inside if you can.
Yeah.
But if you're alone and you're feeling lonely,
yeah,
reach out.
Yeah.
Make the call. There's resources and numbers. Our friend is, if you think of someone, someone pops into your head, call them.
Yeah.
Or her. You know, just.
It's always good to just check on people because that helps you. You know, if I get outside of my own craziness and I check in, let's say we just called Cowboy Scott.
Right.
And
keeps you from being overwhelmed.
Right. So he of course he's so self-centered that he didn't ask me about me, but then he asked me to help him tomorrow. So I said, of course.
I'll be there too.
Because I need to do something, you know. This is another aspect of caregiving. It's okay to take a break from caregiving. As long as your client is safe, right? But it's okay to take a break. It's okay to bring in help. It's okay to leave the house. I mean, I'm doing pretty good.
I would say it's better than okay. It's necessary for any type of long-term real balance in your life.
I mean, I'm leaving more, aren't I?
Yeah.
I leave the house alone.
His old schedule, and he has it on the wall here, is self-care and what he should do every month to take care of himself. And now he's starting to do more.
Oh, that's from Jared Sawyer. Oh yeah. Try these. Are you talking about that one?
Yeah.
Tried one of these. One lunch date with a friend. 24 hours, no social media. 1 day spent outdoors. 1 night out with friends. 1 date night, even if it's just with yourself. Have a breakfast meetup with your friends. 1 movie night, even if it's with yourself. 1 one day of serving others, and one day completely to yourself. Oh, Sophia.
Well, these are basically within 1 month, you want to see if you can accomplish some of these.
Come.
And they're all designed
Oh.
to help you.
Look at
Because
this. Look at this.
something inside of us needs to be fed, and stuff like this can feed that.
This is one of the best things of 2024.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, my little doggo. This is
Sophie.
Sophia. Sophia, say hi to YouTube. Oh, there it is.
Sophia, I got a question for you.
There
What
we
came
go.
first, dogs or fleas? You got nothing? Maybe we'll find out next year.
Oh my God, this is just amazing. This dog has brought so much joy to our family.
If you don't have one, get one.
Yeah, you guys need a dog. I mean, you can either get a little tiny little rat dog like this, as my sister would say,
Or a baby goat in pajamas,
or you get a big old, husky
the drooler.
and let him sleep with you.
Let him love you.
Yeah, let him go everywhere.
Take him in.
So I mean, this has been a great. What do they call this? These type of dog?
Service dog?
Emotional support animal. Sophia. Hello, doggo. As you would say, little mama. Say it.
Hey, little mama.
So we're looking forward to more 2025 with Sophia and secondhand Steve.
And if you have any ideas for the show, if you have any topics you want us to cover, or you have any questions you want to ask us,
Men
we're here for
at
you.
raregivers.global. Okay, I'll answer that. Steve doesn't have an email because we're too cheap to give him one. I may just give him my own.
We'll just do it together on his.
But once again, happy holidays. Stay safe. Reach out. Call someone. Check in on them, even when you're hurting, because it'll help distract what's going on in your life. And you can always go down to the pound and get a dog for free, or a cat if you're a cat person. But I've had a pretty, as much as I was complaining about 2024 and being sick the last couple of months, I'm pretty happy.
Remember, life's for living, not just surviving and existing. Find a way to live where you're at with what you're doing.
Do the Frank Diaz.
How's that go?
Today I have a life worth living. What does he say?
Life worth living, and I forget.
Frank Diaz!
Friend of ours.
We got to get him on here. He would be a great guest.
But
Yeah.
and again, we're here to help.
So that's it for us this year.
That's it for 2024.
And we're happy you joined us. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm pretty okay with that.
No, we survived this year, so let's see what we can do for 2025. But let's do it together.
So join us next Monday at 6 o'clock live here on YouTube on the Raregivers channel. This is a man's journey.
And until then, be gentle with yourself.
Signing off. Adios.
Bye-bye.